Students, in this video I am going to discuss about classification and reproduction of bacteria. So now first start with classification of bacteria according to the mode of respiration. According to their mode of respiration, bacteria are of two types, aerobic and anaerobic, and each of them is of two types, obligate and facultative. Obligate aerobic bacteria. These bacteria can respire only aerobically. Under anaerobic conditions, they get killed. Example, Bacillus subtilis. Bacillus subtilis. Okay. Next, facultative aerobic bacteria. These bacteria respire anaerobically under normal conditions, but can respire aerobically when oxygen is available. Example, most of the photosynthetic bacteria. Now next, obligate anaerobic bacteria. What is it? These bacteria respire only anaerobically. They get killed under the aerobic condition. Example, Clostridium botulinum. Next, the facultative anaerobic bacteria. These bacteria generally respire aerobically but switch over to the anaerobic mode of respiration if oxygen becomes deficient. Okay. Example is Clostridium tetani. Now, next is classification of bacteria according to the mode of nutrition. Bacteria are of two types. So, on the basis of nutrition, bacteria are of two types. One is autotrophic and another one is heterotrophic. Okay. So now, start with autotrophic bacteria. Okay. These bacteria prepare their food from inorganic materials with the help of solar energy or from the oxidative chemical reactions taking place in their surroundings. Okay. The bacteria that make their food by using solar energy are called photosynthetic or photoautotrophic bacteria. Okay. And the bacteria that use oxidative chemical energy are called chemosynthetic or chemoautotrophic bacteria. Okay. Now, next is heterotrophic bacteria. They draw their organic food from some outside source. These bacteria are of three types. First one is saprotrophic bacteria. They obtain their food from all sorts of organic materials such as bodies of dead organisms, rotten foods, excreta, etc. Next, symbiotic bacteria. These bacteria form mutually beneficial association with other organisms. Example, Rhizobium bacteria live in soil as a free-living saprotrophs, but in the roots of a legume plant, they form symbiotic association. The bacteria get shelter and food from the plant and in turn fix free atmospheric nitrogen into nitrogen compounds. Okay. Next is parasitic bacteria. What is it? These bacteria draw their nourishment from other living organisms called hosts. Pathogenic bacteria can cause serious disease in man, animals and plants. Okay, in man, animals and plants. Now, next classification is the classification of bacteria according to cell wall and staining method. Okay. The Gram stain characterizes bacteria based on the structural characteristics of their cell walls and classify the bacterial species into two large groups. Okay. So now, next is gram positive bacteria. Gram positive bacteria are gram-positive bacteria are the bacteria classified by the color they turn in the staining method. Hans Christian Gram developed this staining method in 1884. The staining method uses crystal violet dye, which is retained by the thick peptidoglycan cell wall found in gram-positive bacteria. The examples of gram-positive bacteria are Streptococcus, Bacillus, Clostridium, etc. Now next is gram-negative bacteria. Gram-negative bacteria are bacteria that do not retain the crystal violet stain used in gram staining method of bacterial differentiation. Okay. Now the types of reproduction in bacteria. And the example of the gram-negative bacteria is Escherichia coli, etc. Okay, E. coli, etc. Next, the types of reproduction in bacteria. So now, bacteria. There are 5 kinds of reproductive mode found in bacteria. First one is binary fission. It is the common method of multiplication in bacteria. Mature bacterium divides into 2 identical daughter cells. These grow in size and repeat binary fission. Next is sporulation. Bacteria produce several types of spores for reproduction under unfavorable conditions. Such spores are endospores. These are thick-walled and highly resistant. Sporangiospores, arthrospores, that means oida, conidia, gonidia, and cysts are some other types of spores. Next is conjugation. It is the transfer of genetic material between 2 conjugates on coming in contact with one another. This is again 2 types. First one is sextraction and second one is episome formation. Okay. The fourth process of reproduction is transduction. It is the process of transfer of genetic material of one bacterium to another bacterium by temperate bacteriophage. This process was discovered by Zinder and Liederberg, 1952, in Salmonella typhimurium. Okay. And the last type of reproduction is transformation. In that type, it is the process of picking up genes or DNA by a bacterium from the dead decaying bacterium. This was discovered by Griffith, 1928, in Diplococcus pneumoniae. Okay. So now, next is Kingdom Protista. Kingdom Protista includes diverse kinds of unicellular eukaryotic organisms. Major group of Protista. The Kingdom Protista has been divided into following 3 main groups. So, the classification of Protista, that is divided into 3 main groups: Protistian algae, and then slime molds, and another one is a protozoan protist. Okay, so first start with Protistian algae. Photosynthetic protist. These are also known as photosynthetic protist. These are the most abundant phytoplanktons. Okay, now it is again divided into 3 groups. One is dinoflagellate, another one is chrysophytes, and the last group of Protistian algae is euglenoids. Okay, So come to the group 1 dinoflagellates. The general characteristics are body enclosed by a rigid coat or theca. Each organism has two flagella. One lies longitudinally and the other transversely between the wall plates. Okay. Next is preserve food in the form of starch or oil. Next, some species are photo sorry some species are phosphorescent. One member of the group called goniolux produces red tides in the sea. Now, examples of the dinoflagellates are Ceratium, Stylodinium, etc. Next group is chrysophytes or chrysophytes. This group includes diatoms and golden algae, that is desmids. Next group is euglenoids. Unicellular flagellated protist and contain two flagella, one short and another is long. Okay. Examples of euglenoids are Euglena, Pyranema, etc. Okay. Now, next division is slime molds. Slime molds are saprophytic protists seen during rainy seasons, growing in cool, shady and moist places. Okay. Now, that is again divided into two groups. Group 1 is acellular or plasmodial slime mold and another one is cellular slime mold. So now, acellular or plasmodium slime molds. These are growing in damp places on the dead decaying leaves. Examples of acellular or plasmodium slime molds are Didymium, Filigo, etc. Now come to the cellular slime molds. These are found in litter present over the bark of plants and rotten woods. Okay. The example of the cellular slime molds is Dictyostelium, etc. Now come to the another kingdom, that is kingdom fungi or fungi. So now kingdom fungi or the kingdom of multicellular decomposers or the kingdom of multicellular decomposers. Okay. So now first we need to know some general characteristics of this kingdom. That is, fungi form a large group of organisms with over more known species. Okay. They are achlorophyllous, spore-bearing, non-vascular organisms. Their cell wall is formed of fungal cellulose or chitin. Okay. So now the general characteristics are general characteristics are fungi or fungi, singular fungus. form a large group of form a large group of organisms with over organisms organisms with over 1 lakh known species. Known species. Next is their acrophilus. Spore bearing. Non-vascular. Organisms. Next is their cell wall is formed of fungal cellulose or chitin. Or chitin. Next, they store glycogen as food reserve. They store glycogen as reserve food. As reserve food. Next, they are filamentous with branched somatic bodies. Some are unicellular as yeast, while other are highly complex like mushrooms. Okay. So now they are filamentous. With branched somatic bodies. Some are unicellular as yeast, while other are highly complex like mushroom. Okay. Next, they are heterotrophic organisms. On the basis of mode of nutrition, they are now separated from plants. Okay. So next is they are heterotrophic organisms On the basis of mode of nutrition, they are now separated from plants. From plants. Next, along with certain heterotrophic bacteria, fungi are the major decomposers of organic material and help in recycling inorganic and organic molecules in the environment. So, next is along with certain heterotrophic bacteria, fungi are the major decomposer of organic material and help in recycling inorganic and organic molecules in the environment. Okay, so here it is the general characteristics of the fungi. In my next video I will discuss about the classification of fungus. So now bye students.